Well, these are very extremely weird bedfellows, to say the least here.
Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
As the criminal cover-up of the story of the decade continues in the most absurd ways, as there is some very interesting testimony from someone that has, quote, personally investigated the Epstein files, and by the way, is connected to Jeffrey Epstein, and his father gave him the start of his life for his career, that now is testifying in Congress in the making of this video, as CoffeeZilla just came out and released one of the most damning videos against Dan Bongino and Kash Patel yet, with brand new information that is meant to piss you off absurdly, as this story, this cover-up, gets that much more sinister, that much more overt, evil, and in your face. Truly, just when you thought the story of the decade couldn't get more wild, couldn't get more absurd, couldn't get more enraging, here we are. And this CoffeeZilla expose, truly an incredible, amazing job that he did. We're going to be playing clips of that and telling you to go watch his YouTube video as this story just keeps getting wilder and wilder by the day. And if you appreciate our consistent news coverage of this, we've been talking about this for an extremely long time. We've been talking about this for about 15 years. So if you appreciate us going deep down the rabbit hole, risking it all, getting demonetized. We had a t-shirt store that was taken down by BuzzFeed because BuzzFeed was like, how dare they talk about this Epstein stuff? And then our merchandise store took us down for making shirts about Epstein. If you appreciate our continued long-standing effort here, subscribe. We greatly appreciate all of the time and attention that you give us. Now, CoffeeZilla came out. As soon as this story broke, his coverage on this was pretty gosh darn good. A lot of people have been weak about this. A lot of people have backed down. A lot of people were like, oh, we're told to shut up, and they have shut up. Let's just be honest with ourselves. A lot of people got the call from major donors, from Donald Trump himself, from people within the Trump administration, be like, guys, shut up. And you know, there's multiple layers of these calls and multiple layers of these personalities. Some of them reached out to me and they're like, what are you doing? You're not going to get invited back to Mar-a-Lago. I don't give a damn. This story supersedes all that. And this story cannot go away because there's going to be some very big important developments here that are going to be happening here that are important to talk about. But this is what CoffeeZilla said on July 7th. 1 minute is missing from Epstein. And then it came out, it's more than a minute. And then Pam Bondi came out and said, oh no, it's just an old surveillance system. That's what happens with old surveillance systems. No, it doesn't. She lied. All the cybersecurity surveillance experts came out and said, what is she talking about? That makes no sense at all. As we are now hearing that the FBI does have the video footage from Epstein's prison block the night that he allegedly lost his life. Listen, I'm already so far down the rabbit hole, I question everything here. And you should, with how absurd and how incredulous this administration has been when it comes to the facts of the story here that are insane. And again, we know the FBI has the fully unredacted, unedited video footage that Dan Bongino promised us. Dan Bongino, Kash Patel said, you're going to get everything. You're going to get everything. Unredacted. You're going to get the raw file. We're literally getting a video recording of a screen. That's what we're getting, according to many security surveillance experts. If you remember, this is what Bongino had to say not so long ago.
There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this.
What's taken a while? Yeah, right. Liar. That's not what's taken a while. Okay? You were editing and manipulating the footage. And clearly, there's a lot of manipulation there. That CoffeeZilla now exposed, that's even far grander than we thought it was.
We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Yeah, there's shenanigans because we never got the original. You still, Dan Bongino, have the original. Why didn't you give us the original, Dan Bongino? And why did you tell us you will give us the original? And why haven't you given us the original here? As again, video forensic experts are showing how this wasn't even a direct export from the prison surveillance system. This was footage that was modified using Adobe Premiere. And we still haven't gotten it all. And now here comes CoffeeZilla. And his takedown of this government official story shows you just how brazen all of this was. He did a 3D reconstruction showing you how it wasn't just one surveillance footage camera that didn't work, but multiple. There was 11 cameras, but only 2 of them worked. 9 cameras mysteriously stopped working. They were working before Epstein entered that specific protected unit of the jail cell, which he was supposed to have direct supervision of, which jailhouse guards lied about and falsified records about and were held criminally responsible for, and then got a little slap on the wrist. Convenient. How absurd. How absurd and infuriating that there's so much lies here. And this 3D reconstruction showing you 9 cameras failed that previously worked. 9. Epstein enters a cell. Boom. 9 cells. Stop working. What is he? What is he? Is he some kind of like ET UFO freak that just fries surveillance system as soon as he walks in there? That's probably what the government's going to come tell us. With the way that this story's going, 9 cameras failed. 9. Not 1. 9. And listen, there was other video footage that we were supposed to get. And yeah, this story gets so infuriating. I'm going to play you a very strong bit of the CoffeeZilla segment here, which breaks this story wide open. Before I do, though, I need to pay the bills around here, and that's why I decided to pay the bills in an ethical way by starting my own supplement company. One of my supplements that I take that I like is fish oils. We make sure it's made from small fish like sardines, so there's no contamination of a lot of mercury, heavy metals, which a lot of fish do. I like fish. My genetic, my physical body thrives off of fish, but a lot of fish are just like crap out there. I don't know where I'm getting it. I don't know where I'm sourcing it. I don't want some fish from China, personally myself, in polluted water, so I just rely on small fish, sardines. Now, the best thing to do is to eat small fish, sardines, but again, you got to be careful because a lot of the tin cans are lined with microplastics, and I'm like, goodness gracious. Now you got to go out of your way to find the sardines, if you have a taste for them, and the small fish, if you have a taste for them, in glass bottles. Right, and then it's like, oh, they put seed oils in there to preserve it. And I'm like, I'm just going to get some fish oils. I like fish oils. I thrive off of fish oils. You might too. Dr. Rhonda Patrick had a lot of positive things to say about fish oils. This is what she had to say as she recommends fish oils a lot.
Is having these little omega capsules the same as eating the salmon in terms of the omega-3 that I'm getting? And how long do I have to take these little omega capsules for to move from having a low index to a high omega-3 index?
This little capsule here is not the same as eating salmon. And there's a few reasons why. So for one, when you're eating a fish that's high in omega-3 like salmon, you have this omega-3 in what's called triglyceride form. So the omega-3 is bound to a glycerol backbone. And that's really important for the way you absorb it. Some fish oil supplements don't have that. They're molecular distilled, and then they have an ethanol backbone. So it's not quite as bioavailable. But I think more importantly is that these fish oil supplements are purified. So you're not getting mercury or microplastics or things that are also found in the whole fish.
So these are better.
Yeah. For Rhonda Patrick, she prefers fish oil. She recommends it. Do your own research before putting anything into your own body. WeAreChange.shop is how you support this independent media network. Other influencers do gambling and booze. What the hell just happened to this camera? I don't want to do that. I'm like, whatever. I'll just work with it. I don't want to do that. I want to, of course, promote good things. And that's why I started WeAreChange.shop. Can't recommend it enough. And go support this independent media network on it. But this is how CoffeeZilla started off his video.
This painstaking recreation of the special housing unit can put to bed the top 5 lies from our government about Jeffrey Epstein. 1, we didn't get a video of Jeffrey Epstein's cell. We got a camera, they can't see it. 2,
Yep. That's an important aspect of this because Dan Bongino's got, you're going to see it. Dan Bongino's like, I saw it. And totally, Epstein totally did take himself out. I saw the full footage. No, you didn't. You saw an obstructed view. Epstein's cell, you see my mouse, is in here. The staircase to his cell is in here. You could walk underneath here, right? And you could walk here and not be detected on camera. And then they came out, there was no one there. And then there was someone there. And then you see someone there, even in the little crossway here. Okay, right? The other 9 surveillance cameras here failed magically, miraculously, all stopped working at the same time.
Epstein cell. We got a camera that can't see it. 2, there wasn't just one camera, there were 11. 3, the footage shows way more than just Epstein. 4, we
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, there was no one there. No one was walking by. You saw a whole bunch of people walking by.
didn't get raw footage, we got modified footage. And lastly, there are blind spots on this camera. I mean, it's just perfectly clear, and the government has previously admitted it.
And this is so infuriating because, again, we were just lied to. This is a great video. I can't recommend it enough. CoffeeZilla definitely did a good job. We're gonna put the video down in the description so you can watch the full video. It's definitely worth a watch because he goes into greater detail here. But here's Kash Patel that also lied to us.
Of the cell. And you're going to see for yourself.
Kash Patel, the FBI director, told us that this footage was of Jeffrey Epstein's cell, but
it wasn't. And again, his 3D rendition here of where the cell actually was. And again, another major lie here from Bongino here, which I think is important to highlight.
There was only one camera.
There's a video of him.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. It was only one camera.
Deputy Director Dan Bongino of the FBI told us there was only one camera in the special housing unit, but that's not true. There's
11 cameras. 11 cameras. 9 of them just all stopped working. Huh. What an amazing, incredible coincidence. How great for all those people that really wanted to see Epstein gone and not testify against them. And again, he goes over line by line by line. And truly, great work. The video will be down in the description below. All of this is happening as Bill Barr, the former Attorney General of the United States, by the way, Bill Barr's DOJ, went to Donald Trump and went to Jeffrey Epstein. And they said, hey, Mr. Epstein, this is Bill Barr's DOJ. Give us dirt on Donald Trump and we'll make all your problems go away. And then, according to Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate, that didn't happen. According to Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate, there was no dirt. There was no dirt on Donald Trump. That's what Jeffrey Epstein allegedly told his cellmate. Now, there was another weird specific incident with his cellmate that I think is worth talking about here, as we have to remember here. There was a situation where Epstein came out and said his cellmate tried to take him out, beat him up. His cellmate denied that and said Epstein was just trying to take himself out. There's video footage of it. And then the jail was like, oh, whoopsie-doo, another mistake was done here. This is from the first incident, by the way. There's 2 incidences. That's why he was put in the Special Protective Unit. The first incident, and they're like, oh, we logged it wrong. Whoopsie-daisy. There's no video footage. We lost it. Huh. We're going to put him in this protective unit. Oh, look, 9 out of the 11. 9 out of the 11. 9 out of the 11. 9 out of the 11 cameras just failed. How symbolic. What a grand gesture. They just failed. Miraculously. You know another person that told us he watched the video footage and was convinced Epstein absolutely took himself out? Bill Barr. Who, again, was the Attorney General of the United States when all of this happened. Okay? He's the guy who covered it up. He released a report and oh yeah, Epstein absolutely took himself out, even though there's no footage of it, and then he came out saying, I saw the footage. What? Are you kidding me? Now, Bill Barr is going to be testifying right now in the making of this video. Bill Barr is testifying. Will that testimony be public? Will there be any details released to what's going on here? I hope so. This is what CBS News is reporting on when it comes to this particular meeting.
Katrina, good to see you. What information do lawmakers hope to hear today?
Well, Vlad, it was very unusual for an Attorney General, Bill Barr, to personally oversee this investigation of...
Yeah, very weird, especially since Bill Barr's father, right, gave Jeffrey Epstein his start at the Dalton School, right? Bill Barr's father, the guy who personally investigated the Epstein matter, investigated himself, says, I saw the video footage, even though we were told there's no video footage, even though we were told the video footage was destroyed. Came out and said, oh, yeah, 100%. What happened here? Clearly, no conspiracy at all. You got to believe the government's official version of events here. The government has no reason to lie to you, and we love you and we care for you. And every war is a justified war. And Be a good puppet slave and be obedient and don't question anything the government says. That's simple. And I'm like, really? I remember when that report came out, I was like, really? Really? You expect us to believe this nonsense? Now, him testifying here, I think, is going to be important. I hope we get the transcript. I hope we get the record here. And I hope we get some good, legitimate questions asked here, but I highly doubt it with the way that things have been going.
Jeffrey Epstein to personally be reviewing that surveillance footage. Also, his staff was on site.
That's surveillance footage. That, by the way, 9 out of the 11 cameras failed. And that surveillance footage that you just saw there, they just released, that they lied about.
Shortly after Epstein's death, that was...
Yeah, why was the DOJ staff there right after his death? Which is also kind of weird here. Oh, it's not strange. Strange.
It was very unusual as well with an inmate death. We have some sound of what he said at the time. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
This sex trafficking case was very important to the Department of Justice and to me personally. I was appalled, and indeed the whole department was, and frankly, angry to learn of the MCC's failure to adequately secure this prisoner.
Yeah, blame it on the MCC. Blame it on the prison. It's the prison's fault. Why hasn't anyone from the prison been held accountable and responsible then? Why hasn't anyone actually been, criminally punished for their actions here, which were egregious, right? You think the guy running the prison would get held responsible? No, he got a promotion.
But this is why Barr will have more information than your typical attorney general about Epstein's death. At the time, he said that he had reviewed the footage, that he concluded no one came or went from Epstein's cell. But
that's a lie. There's even video footage of a bunch of people walking around there. 1, 2, there's someone going up into the staircase. There's video footage of someone walking up that staircase into the... And then you're telling me you watched that footage of an adjacent thing that doesn't even show the clear entry into Epstein's cell? You're telling me you saw that and you're like, I'm convinced. Oh, yeah, nothing happened here. There was not even a camera angle that showed the entry into his cell or into the staircase to his cell. Right? There's nothing. It was obstructed by the wall. We didn't get to see it. And now you're going to lie to us? Kash Patel's going to lie to us? Dan Bongino's going to lie to us and tell us all these fairy tales that are absolutely not true here? I really hope there's a member of Congress that actually holds his feet to the fire about this.
What's interesting, Vlad, is our reporter Dan Rutnick reviewed that footage, and he said that it looks as though at least one person went down to that cell. You can see this sort of orange blur on the...
Yep. Who went into that cell and why? Why haven't we gotten those answers? Why is the government lying through their teeth? Why is Pam Bondi telling us, oh, it's just an old surveillance system? It just goes missing all the time, when that's not the case here. Do they think you're that stupid? Do you think you're that much? Oh, 9 cameras just mysteriously stopped working. Man, just magic. Excuse me? Frickin' excuse me? Family-friendly show here, but this is infuriating, to say the least.
The footage, that's the color of the inmate's clothes. It's also the color of the linen, so maybe someone carrying those, but it was 10:40 p.m. at night. So, this is a question for Bill Barr. Does he still think that no one came or went from that cell?
Yeah. How can you be contradicted, right? Even the footage, the altered, edited footage that's missing, that's not raw, that you haven't given us, fully unedited, by the way. Even that footage is contradicting your official version of events here, as there's 2 logical kind of conclusions to come through here. One, we are dealing with the most grossly incompetent, lowest IQ, idiotic, stupidest people on the face of this earth. Or you're dealing with the highest levels of criminals. Now, let's just be honest with ourselves. I don't believe Kash Patel is that stupid. I met Kash Patel. I've spoken to him. I think he's extremely smart. Same with Dan Bongino. I met Dan Bongino. I think he's extremely smart. You can't be this incompetent. You can't be this stupid. So what else is going on here? In my opinion, it's a big criminal cover-up of some of the most powerful predators in our society that are still on the loose, that are still going out there and hurting small children with the full protection of our tax dollars, which, in my opinion, is absurd.
We've also reviewed the surveillance footage, and Dan Rupnick as well was told by a government source that there's this missing minute, but the government source said that the government has footage where that minute is still there. Attorney General Pam Bondi has said that it was a refresh, that it's just typical for that minute to be missing, but there are so many questions swirling here that they're hoping.
They're not. It's a lie. And listen, I don't think this story should go away. I think the testimony deserves to be made public. I hope we get the testimony. I hope we get some legitimate hard questions. I can't believe I have this camera zoomed in on my face as much as it did right now. I'm a little uncomfortable. I think this story deserves a lot more attention. If you agree, share it. Go watch CoffeeZilla's video. Great video. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting this independent media broadcast and getting the supplements. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Beautiful and amazing human beings. Stay tuned for more. All here on youtube.com/wearechange.